If your dog trembles, hides under the bed, or barks himself hoarse every time fireworks go off, stay right here because in the next few minutes I'm going to give you the exact protocol I use with my own patients to get them through fireworks at night calm, safe, and even asleep. Not sedated into a stupor, not drugged against their will, calm, the way a dog is supposed to feel in their own home. I'm Dr. Waterling Lee, and I've spent years in clinic rooms treating dogs for noise phobia, anxiety, and the physical toll that panic takes on a dog's body. And every single fireworks season, I see the same thing. Owners who love their dogs desperately, doing everything they think is right, and still watching their dog fall apart the second the first boom hits. Today, that changes. Because what I'm about to walk you through isn't a trick. It's not a gimmick. It's a real, science-backed, hour-by-hour plan that works with your dog's nervous system instead of fighting against it. Stick with me, because near the end, I'm going to tell you about one mistake almost every owner makes in the first 10 minutes after fireworks start. A mistake that actually makes the fear worse. If you've ever wondered why your dog seems to get more anxious every single year instead of less, that mistake is very likely the reason. But let's build up to it properly, one piece at a time. Why fireworks terrify dogs more than you think? Here's what most people don't realize. A dog's hearing is roughly 4 times more sensitive than ours, and it covers a much wider frequency range. What sounds like a loud bang to you registers as something closer to a physical blow to them. Add to that the unpredictability. No warning, no pattern, no way to brace for it, and you have a perfect storm for the canine nervous system. Dogs are wired to respond to sudden, loud, unexplained stimuli as a threat to survival. That's not bad behavior. That's biology doing exactly what it evolved to do. When the first firework goes off, your dog's body floods with cortisol and adrenaline. Heart rate spikes, muscles tense, pupils dilate. The instinct is to flee, freeze, or in some cases, become destructive trying to escape a room, a crate, even a fenced yard. And here's the part that really matters for tonight. Once that stress response starts, it's much harder to bring your dog back down. The nervous system doesn't have an off switch. It has to gradually de-escalate, and that takes time your dog may not get if the noise keeps coming wave after wave. That's exactly why everything I'm about to show you happens before the noise starts, not during it. Prevention beats damage control every time with this particular kind of fear. The 1-hour countdown protocol. I want you to think of this as a runway. A plane doesn't just take off. There's a sequence, a build-up, a preparation, each step setting up the next. Your dog's nervous system needs exactly the same kind of runway. 60 minutes before dusk, create the den. Choose one room, ideally an interior room, away from windows, where street-level sound is naturally muffled by walls and distance. This becomes the safe zone for the entire night. Close the curtains now, not later, because dogs pick up on visual cues. Flashes of light through a window can be just as triggering as the sound itself, sometimes more so, since the flash often arrives before the bang. Put down familiar bedding, something that smells like your dog, like you, like home. Scent is a powerful anchor for a dog's sense of safety, often more powerful than anything visual. 45 minutes before, feed a full, calming meal. This one surprises people. A dog with a satisfied stomach has measurably lower baseline stress reactivity than a hungry one. Feeding within this window, rather than earlier in the day, means your dog is settling into a slightly drowsy, digestion-focused state right as things ramp up outside. Digestion itself activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the same system responsible for calm, rest, and recovery. If your vet has approved a calming supplement, L-theanine, tryptophan, or a prescribed option, this is the window to give it, so it has time to absorb and take effect before the first firework goes off. 30 minutes before, exercise, but the right kind. Not a high-energy fetch session that spikes adrenaline and heart rate right when you want the opposite. A long, calm walk. Sniffing is key here. Letting your dog sniff extensively actually lowers heart rate and shifts the nervous system toward a parasympathetic rest and digest state. Researchers call this sniffari behavior, and it's one of the most underused tools in canine calming. A tired, satisfied dog with a settled nose is already halfway to a calm evening before the first bang even happens. 15 minutes before, set the sound environment. Turn on a fan, white noise, or calm background audio in the den room. The goal isn't to block sound entirely. That's simply impossible with something as loud as fireworks. It's to raise the baseline noise floor so that a sudden bang is less of a stark, jarring contrast. A sudden loud sound against silence is far more startling to a nervous system than the same sound layered over a steady hum. This single trick alone softens the edges of every bang your dog hears tonight. 5 minutes before, bring your dog into the den and settle in with them. This is the moment that determines the whole night. Your energy, right now, is a signal your dog is reading constantly. Dogs read our physiology, breathing rate, muscle tension, tone of voice, even the tightness in our hands, far more than they read our words. If you're anxious about how your dog will react, they will feel that anxiety before the first firework even goes off. So take a breath, sit down, let your shoulders drop. You are the calibration point for the whole evening. The mistake that undoes everything. Now here's that mistake I mentioned earlier. The moment the first loud bang hits, most owners do one of two things, and both unfortunately make things worse. They either panic and overcomfort, grabbing the dog tightly, hugging hard, saying, it's okay, in a high, worried voice, or they scold the dog for barking or shaking, adding punishment right on top of fear. Both of these respond to the wrong signal. Overcomforting in a frantic, high-pitched tone actually confirms to your dog that something is genuinely wrong. Dogs don't understand our words, but they absolutely read our urgency and tension. And that urgency tells them, yes, this is dangerous, your instincts are correct. Scolding, meanwhile, adds a second layer of stress directly on top of the first, teaching your dog that fear itself gets punished, which over time can make dogs hide their fear rather than resolve it, often a worse outcome. What actually works is a boring, steady, low-key presence. Sit near your dog. Keep your voice low and even, almost monotone. Offer calm, slow physical contact only if your dog actively seeks it out. You are not trying to fix the fear in that exact moment. You're demonstrating, through your own calm body and steady breath, that there is no threat here. And dogs learn far more from what we do than what we say. During the fireworks, what to actually do. Keep the den sealed. Resist the very human urge to check outside or crack open the curtains to look. That instantly resets the visual trigger you worked to remove. Keep the white noise steady and running the entire time, not just at the start. If your dog wants to burrow under a blanket, dig at bedding, or press their body against you, let them. These are self-soothing behaviors, not signs that your protocol has failed. If you're using a calming wrap or pressure vest, this is when it goes on. But ideally, your dog has worn it during a calm moment earlier in the week, so the sensation is already associated with comfort rather than only appearing on the scariest night of the year. Introducing an unfamiliar piece of equipment for the very first time during a stressful event can itself become a brand new source of stress layered on top of the noise. Offer a long-lasting chew or a stuffed food toy. Chewing is a natural stress reliever for dogs. It engages the jaw muscles in a rhythmic way that has been shown to help lower cortisol levels. It also gives your dog's brain something concrete to focus on besides the unpredictable sound outside, which matters enormously for a mind that's otherwise scanning constantly for the next threat. After the noise stops, don't rush the return to normal life. Let your dog decide when they're ready to leave the den on their own terms. Keep the rest of the evening calm and low-key. No exciting play, no big greetings, no sudden bursts of activity, just steady, quiet normalcy. This tells your dog's nervous system, in the clearest language it understands, that the event is fully, completely over, and it's safe to fully stand down. A word on long-term solutions. If your dog's fireworks fear is severe, shaking uncontrollably, trying to escape at all costs, injuring themselves on doors or crates, or completely shutting down and refusing to move, a one-night protocol isn't enough on its own, and that's okay to acknowledge. This is where I want you to talk to your vet about a real, structured desensitization plan using recorded firework sounds at very low volume, gradually increased over several weeks, always paired with something positive like play or food. It's not an overnight fix, but it is genuinely one of the most effective long-term treatments we have in veterinary behavioral medicine. And I've personally seen dogs go from full-blown panic to complete indifference over the course of a single season of consistent, patient work. And if your dog's anxiety is extreme, please don't rule out a conversation about anti-anxiety medication prescribed specifically for noise phobia and situational fear. This isn't a failure on your part as an owner, and it doesn't mean your dog is broken. It's a medical tool, the same as any other prescription we'd reach for to treat a physical condition. And for some dogs, it's genuinely, completely life-changing. Bringing it all together. Here's what I want you to remember above everything else. Fear of fireworks isn't a training problem you somehow failed to solve. It's a biological response to a modern environment that simply wasn't built with a dog's nervous system in mind. But you have far more control over that hour than you probably think you do. The den, the meal, the sniff walk, the sound floor, your own steady, unhurried presence. Each one is a small lever on its own, but together they change the entire trajectory of the night. I know how hard it is to watch your dog suffer through something you can't fully explain to them, something they can't understand no matter how many times you tell them it's okay. But you're not powerless here. You're their calm in the storm, if you choose to be, and now you know exactly how to make that real, step by step. If this helped you, do me a favor and hit that like button. It genuinely helps this information reach more owners who need it before tonight arrives. Subscribe if you want more real, practical veterinary guidance like this, straight from the clinic. And in the comments, tell me, what's your dog's biggest trigger? Fireworks, thunder, or something else entirely? I read every single one, and it helps me know exactly what to cover next. Your dog doesn't need a miracle tonight. They need you, prepared, an hour ahead of time, calm before the first bang ever hits. Now go set up that den and let this be the year your dog finally sleeps straight through the noise.